Yo, Twilight Zone review. We got a classic episode for you. People Are Alike All Over, a season 1 episode. One of my favorite episodes. And here's Ashley with the episode info.
Originally aired 3/25/60, written by Rod Serling, based on the short story Brothers Beyond the Void by Paul Fairman. Producer Buck Houghton Houghton, director Mitchell Leeson. Cast: Sam Conrad, Roddy McDowell, Warren Markison, Paul Comey, Tina, Susan Oliver, Martian 1, Byron Morrow, Martian 2, Vic Perrin, Martian 3, Vernon Gray.
And the character that plays Markison was also in the season 4 episode, The Parallel.
Yeah.
And probably more known for season 3 episode, The Odyssey. Season 2, excuse me. The Odyssey of Flight 33.
Yes.
And I remember that because it's right after 22.
Yes.
Because it goes, you just add 11 to it.
Yeah.
Some random facts. And Roddy McDowell, besides being in Planet of the Apes, which Rod Serling co-wrote, it was released in 1968. Ironically, I'm not going to give spoilers away yet, but ironically, there's kind of some similarities to the character. Maybe kind of reversed. But you can find that out later. But besides Planet of the Apes, he looks familiar. Was he in a sitcom?
I think he's a really famous actor from then. I have to look it
I
up.
feel like he looks like he was on a sitcom that used to be on reruns or something.
Yeah, he was in something.
Random fact: the lovely actress that plays Tina, Susan Oliver, she's the first woman to attempt a direct single person flight from New York to Moscow, and then at the last minute, the USSR denied permission to land, so she had to land in Denmark. Random.
Yeah.
She's also a Buddhist. Just
random fact.
Well, I'm doing a little more background research. I'm trying to put a little more effort into these. What is your rating? Mine is a 9.
I was gonna say that stolen.
I thought you liked it when we matched up without planning it.
I did, but I was going to say, you said, what was your rating? And then you said your rating. You didn't let me answer. And I would have said 9 first.
Okay, let's do it over. What's your rating?
9.
Mine too.
Crazy.
And we really don't discuss. We've had a couple episodes where we're far off, but
yeah,
not that many.
No.
A lot. It's pretty weird that we're spot on.
Yeah.
You would think it'd be 8.5, 9 more often than 9, 9 or 8, 8.
Right.
So this episode, it starts out, you have our 2 astronauts, our 2, spacemen on Earth looking at the rocket. They're behind a fence, a chain link fence. And our main character is talking about how he's scared. He's like, I'm a scientist, you're the Air Force, this is what you wanted to do. I wish I could stay. They just need my mind because I'm a scientist. And our second lead kind of tries to talk to him about, if we run into people or aliens, they'll probably be just like us. There's no need to be afraid. And it's actually interesting. The episode, I feel has 3 very distinct qualities in different parts of the episode. There's this interesting beginning and then semi-spoiler alert, but not the big one. The ship, it transitions, they're in the ship and it crashes on Mars. 1960, they thought Mars could have had people.
Yeah.
Even in 73, David Bowie wrote, what's the song?
Ground Control to Major Tom.
No, Mars.
Oh, I don't know.
Is there life on Mars?
Oh, yeah.
Na, 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 on some kind of show. Anyway, now that everyone tuned out. So there's this scene where our second lead is injured and, our main character is just very afraid. He doesn't want to open the door. And our second lead is like, open the door. I want to see what I'm dying for because he's injured. He's not sure what's going to happen. and you hear these pings. It's very horror.
Yeah.
Like, it's very interesting. There's very different aspects to this episode. This could have been a movie.
Yeah.
Easily.
Definitely.
This could have been like a full 2-hour movie, 90-minute movie. So semi-spoiler alert. This is a great episode. So if you're going to watch, we'll warn you before the big one, but we're going to start getting into it. The second lead dies. And
before he gets to see anything.
Yeah, he's like, fine, I'll open the door. We can put it on auxiliary power. And then he passes away. It looked like he had an internal bleeding. And then all of a sudden, what happens? The door starts opening by itself.
Yeah.
And we have our main character looking freaked out, standing with his pistol. And of course, no mask. The air is fine. Mars,
of course,
Mars has an atmosphere.
It's just like Earth.
Comes back from the break. All of a sudden, there's a crowd of like 100 people wearing togas, like looking like Greek people.
Yeah, Greek people.
But they're Martians. And, our main character's trying to speak to them, drawing symbols on the ground. And all of a sudden, they start talking to him in English. And he's like, how do you know my language? And then Tina says, we don't. You'll soon realize you're speaking in our language. And basically, they did some kind of mind meld hypnosis thing on him. Any notes so far?
No, keep going.
And, he has a million questions. And then it hits him that his co-pilot died. He was so overwhelmed with fear, he kind of, forgot to focus on that. And the Martians say, well, we'll bury your friend for you, and you can pick out a marker. And he's like, can I please see your cities? Can I see your culture? And they're like, all in due time. Rest here while we prepare a place for you. Some time goes by, they come back and get him, and they bring him to what looks like 1950s or 60s suburban home, interior.
Home. Yeah. He's like amazed at how accurate everything is, how at home it looks and feels.
Yeah, it's missing something, but we'll get to that. And, he's like, oh, there's a television. And I wonder if there was a secondary kind of point to the episode where, he's happy with the scotch and just the simple things. If there's not like if Rod Serling's not trying to make some kind of point there, some kind of undertone about how easily he's like, oh, there's a TV and there's booze. This is great.
Well, he is the one that didn't want to leave Earth to begin with, so he never wanted to leave any of those creatures.
But I wonder if it's a commentary on these humans are so simplistic.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, they leave him and they say, we'll come back and get you to take a tour shortly. Again, we're getting very close to big spoilers, so go watch the episode. And he's hanging out, and all of a sudden he looks up in the kitchen and he realizes there's no window.
Like over the sink where people normally have windows.
Right. And then he goes to there's a side door, it's locked. He goes to the front door, it's locked. Then he tears down the shades in the living room and realizes there's no windows anywhere. And he begins to freak out. And all of a sudden, big spoilers, guys. Big spoilers. Go watch the episode. All of a sudden, this wall starts to slide open, and there's just like a see-through material or glass, probably stronger than glass, still, present. And there's a crowd of people, and there's bars outside the glass. And he's like, what? Why have you done this to me? Why have you done this to me? And he looks down, and there's a sign that says, Earth creature in his natural habitat. We'll assume that he still has the mind meld thing where he can read their language.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he's in the zoo.
Yep. People are alike all over.
Yeah, he says, Moccasin, you are right. People are alike all over. Which obviously making a commentary on human nature and, that type of thing. But just a great episode.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's I would say it's a pretty well-known pop culturally parodied episode. It's in the top 10. It's probably behind Willoughby as like number 8 or 9. It's a well-known one.
I believe you.
I've definitely seen it parodied. The end of it.
Yeah.
The end of it I've seen parodied. Yeah. But just, the commentary aside, just as a science fiction one, this could have been like an hour episode and still been a 9.
Yeah, it's really good. Roddy McDowall's a really good actor.
Definitely. And yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. This is a good one. Yeah, check it out.
For sure.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. Our main character from A Stop at Willoughby was also in Planet of the Apes. He played one of the apes.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy?
The main guy.
Which ape did
the
he
guy
play?
that gets off at Willoughby.
Yeah, which ape?
I don't know.
Oh.
Off the top of my head, but he was also in Planet of the Apes.
Cool.
He was one of the apes.
We need to rewatch Planet of the Apes.
Maybe we'll review it.
Yeah.
Rod Serling co-wrote it.
Yeah.
I believe he wrote it, and then somebody else came in because the studio wanted to change some things. But he's an official. It was his original idea.
That's awesome.
And I think the studio made some changes, so he opted to be a co-writer because they made some changes. I don't think he agreed with, but basically, it's like a long Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll leave it there. We're gonna have what's the one? Not Bowley, not Big Tall Wish. We're doing that coming up.
Yeah.
But what's the other one? The Civil War one. Abraham Lincoln.
Passersby.
The Passersby?
Yeah.
The Passersby we'll probably do next. We don't want to do 2 9 or 10s in a row.
Right.
Not to give too much away about one coming up. But yeah, The Passersby and Big Tall Wish will be the next 2 we do sometime in the next 7 or 8 days. And love you guys. Later.
Bye.